Hey guys, I'm Fill in the Blanks. Welcome back to Let's Play Mega Man The Wily Wars. We're on the home stretch here. We've beaten Mega Man 1, 2, and 3, and we're on the last game, the Wily Tower, which is kind of like a very miniature-sized Mega Man game. Now, before we go in, I'm going to go ahead and copy my the file that I've been using. The reason for that is because the Wily Tower can only be played after you've beaten Mega Man 1, 2, and 3. Which is fine, but once you've gone ahead and beaten Wily Tower, you can't actually go back in and play the whole thing. So if you, later on, if you want to play through Wily Tower again, you need to go back and beat Mega Man 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to keep a file here in case later down the road in a year or so, I want to play Wily Tower, but I don't want to beat the other 3 Mega Man games. I have a file ready for that. If you have a copy of this game, I suggest you do the same, because it's really frustrating to have to beat those games again just to get to Wily Tower. Anyway, so here it is, Wily Tower, and there is a little story for it, unlike Mega Man 1 and 3. It's not super good, mind you, it's pretty lame. With Wily shaking his eyebrows at us like he's so famous for doing. So, yeah, Wily Tower is like a small-sized Mega Man game. It's got 3 Robot Masters, and then kind of 3.5 Wily Fortress levels, so it's pretty short. We'll beat this in a couple episodes. And the 3 Robot Masters are actually based on some sort of folklore. 2 of them which I know, 1 of them which I don't. I'll try to find out what it is and put that on the video. Anyway, so we got Buster Rod G, Mega Water S, and Hyperstorm H. I have no idea what those letters stand for. Doesn't really matter. So let's go after Buster Rod G, who is clearly based off of the... Oh darn, I don't remember the name of the Chinese legend. But Dragon Ball Z is based off of it. Hey, and there's that music I've been using for the intro, in case you've been wondering where I got that. It's from this. Figured might as well use the Wily Tower music. Alright, now very different from any other Mega Man game is, you get to choose any 8 weapons and any 3 items you've gotten from the 3 games. That's pretty awesome. So, I'm going to take Metal Blade because it's amazing. Quick Boomerang because it's really quick and good. Crash Bomb because it's good for blowing up walls. Hard Knuckle because other types of walls need to be blown up by that specifically. Needle Cannon because it's got auto fire. Firestorm because of its like shielding ability. Speaking of shielding abilities, Leaf Shield is really good too. I usually leave the last one for the weakness of whatever the boss is for that level. This boss's weakness is Hard Knuckle. It's also Hyper Bomb, so I might as well bring Hyper Bomb too. And as for the items, Magnet Beam, Item 1, and a Rush Jet, and that is, it has to be the best combination. They're just the 3 best items. Now you actually only need to put in 1 item and 1 weapon to continue on. It forces you to pick at least 1 of each though. So you'll quickly notice that they don't really make a lot of original enemies for these levels. They just reuse the ones from Mega Man 1, 2, and 3, and that's fine. I mean, it makes sense. They're there. Why not use them? You'll also notice that while the music's not bad, it's definitely not up to Mega Man standards, at least in my opinion. None of the music, the original music for Wily Tower is nearly as good from anything from the actual Mega Man games. You'll also notice that just like the enemies, a ton of actual features, traps, level designs, that kind of thing, from the various Mega Man games appear here, and I really like that because you get to see some of the things that didn't really appear very much, like those things from Snake Man's level, these things over here. Those things are just awesome, and it's such a shame you only get to see them like for a couple seconds. Other things like Top Man's top spin platforms appear too, so that's pretty cool. I'll make reference to them when I see them, but obviously, if you've been playing along or been watching, then you know where they're from. Like that guy's from Airman's level from Mega Man 2. Got these guys from Mega Man 1. But it's a good idea. These guys from Top Man's level from Mega Man 3. But no, it's a good idea just to see all these guys. And it's one of those things that I would have loved to have seen in Mario All-Stars. Kind of like a game specifically made for Mario All-Stars with like a bunch of enemies from the various Mario games. Though, it makes sense to why they didn't do that. I mean, it is already 4 games in one. 5 games in one if you're counting the American-only Mario All-Stars Plus Mario World cartridge. Alright, you know what? I keep forgetting that I have Metal Blade on me. Also, I love this. Instead of like just a little menu that pops up, you actually get the full screen menu. And each weapon has an icon if they didn't before, so that's kind of cool. Anyways, getting the Metal Blade on because it's Metal Blade. And you got the Snakies from Snake Man's level. Also, this is kind of a weird thing to think about, but they really had to program weaknesses for every single enemy in all 3 Mega Man games. You know, they have to have weaknesses to all the other weapons that they didn't have in their respective games. So that must have taken them a long time. Okay, nope, that's not gonna work. So I don't know what things are good for all the enemies, because I only really care about the bosses in terms of weaknesses. So I just kind of use what I want to use. And over here, you die. Over there, you die. Yeah, so that was life. I'll get right back there. Anyways, it was kind of stupid of me to go in there. I mean, that's a small gap, and I'm bad at those jumpy, timey things, especially when I'm recording because the lag's kind of bad. Anyways, there was also a bombable wall there that you can use Crash Bomb for, but I'm pretty sure it's a dead end, so it's not worth going to. Some of the levels actually do have an alternate path, so that's kind of cool. Also, I didn't mention this, but if you look at Crash Bomber, it's no longer Crash Bomber, it's Clash Bomber. Oh no, they didn't translate it right just for that area, so gotta love that. So here we are at the boss, not a very long stage, but here is Buster Rod G, who is extraordinarily weak to both Hyper Bomb and Hard Knuckle. I'm gonna use Hard Knuckle because Hyper Bomb takes forever to activate. And wow, Buster Rod is pretty defensive, as you can see. But you can see he's crazy weak against Hard Knuckle. Anyways, he is almost dead. You just really have to time your shots right. But weirdly enough, he doesn't actually explode and die. So I guess maybe we'll meet him a little later. Now, what's kind of a shame, a really big shame, is that you don't get weapons from these guys. And I find that to be, I don't know, kind of lame. I mean, yeah, you get all the other weapons, so I guess there's no point to it, but whatever. Anyways, let's continue on. We'll go on to, yeah, Mega Water S. Mega Water S is based on Japanese mythical being the Kappa. I don't know much about that stuff, so all I know it's based on the Kappa. This guy doesn't have very many weaknesses, but the one I like to use is the Ice Slasher, so we're going to equip that on, and keep everything else on, because they're all useful in case you need them. I mean, obviously put on what you want to put on. I like this music. Put on what you want to put on, but I put on what works for me. So obviously this is going to be a water level. So Rush Marine could have been good here, but I still say there's no point to that because Rush Jet is just as good and you don't need to be underwater to use it. So no sense in using both of them. So yeah, underwater, you gotta be really careful, just like Bubble Man stage. There's spikes everywhere. And oh wow, needles from Needle Man stage. That's kind of nice. Well, not nice, but it's kind of cool. Yeah, the whole... Oh, really? Did I really just do that? Oh, wow, I start right here. Awesome. Alright, got my Metal Blade on. Yeah, that was kind of funny. I've been doing that a lot. Sliding into things because of my Genesis directional buttons. Maybe I should really just get another Genesis controller. Or maybe it is just me. I don't think it is. I've never had this problem until like a few months ago with any other game on the Sega Genesis. There we go. I'm nervous about this. Oh my god. Can we see that in slow motion? Yeah, that was... Oh my god, my heart. And here, we have a place you can blow up, but you can't use the Crash Bomber, or Clash Bomber, as I like to call it in this one. You need to use the Hard Knuckle. But it is just... Yeah, it's for an energy tank. Might as well get it. Why not, right? I forget how many energy tanks you can hold in this one. Probably 9 again. I'll find that out before the end of the game. There we go. I am probably going to need a couple energy tanks. I'm not as good at this game as I am at the other Mega Man games, simply because I haven't played it very much. This is only my 3rd time going through Wily Tower. So, I'm not super used to it. I did a playthrough just before I recorded all this stuff, just to kind of get some oh my god, techniques going down for some of the bosses, especially in the Wily Tower itself. So, hopefully I'll be able to show you guys a couple good techniques that you'll be able to use if you ever play this yourself. Anyway, it's not too difficult to stage, as long as you just avoid everything, like the spikes and whatnot. It's more of a trap level than a difficult level for fighting. And there we go, another pretty short level. So let's get the Ice Slasher equipped. There we go. It's not really that powerful against this guy, but almost everything else does only one. Oh, by the way, you probably noticed this in the last boss battle. But I changed my tables up a little bit because I am not listing every single weakness these guys have. Or not weakness, every single damage value, because that'd just be ridiculous. So I'm just listing what you can use as their weaknesses. This guy is super easy. I mean, look at this. This is just ridiculous. There's like no strategy whatsoever involved in that. And I love how they like want to push you off, because that water cannon can't damage you. It just pushes you. So they want you to like hit the spikes, but there should be spikes everywhere if that's what they wanted to do. Whatever. And spoiler alert, you don't actually fight the 3 guys again like you do in other Mega Man bosses, so it's kind of a wasted opportunity. Like they could have like made the second battle harder. Anyways, here's Hyperstorm H. This guy's friggin' giant. I mean, that's something you'd only see on the Super Nintendo. Now this guy, let me just double check his weakness. Oh, Hyper Bomb is pretty good against him, but I hate using Hyper Bomb. So instead, yeah, there's not too much. Firestorm is actually its secondary weakness, and I have that equipped already, so let's just continue on. Pretty much everything either did 1 damage or 2 damage. Hyper Bomb does an awesome 6, but it's just annoying to wait for that long. Firestorm does 3 though, and that's good enough for me. I mean, it's better than doing a 1 or 2, so whatever. Oh, what am I doing? Metal Blade. I love how I take all these other weapons just in case, but I'm just gonna use Metal Blade because it's Metal Blade, and Metal Blade is flippin' amazing. As you all know by now. Except it can't go through those guys' shots, oh no. It's a very Mega Man 3-centric level here. I like this level, though. It looks really nice. I don't like the music at all, but the level itself looks really nice. You'll notice in the Wily Tower itself, like when we get to Wily's Fortress in this game, each level is very much based on a specific Mega Man. Like, I forget which order, but like one of the levels will be pretty much exclusively Mega Man 1 enemies and traps, and then the other one will be exclusively Mega Man 2 enemies. This one's very Mega Man 3 based. It's crazy. But again, I like the whole, hey, let's use a bunch of things from the other Mega Man games. It's maybe asking much, but I think it would have been cool if they did some Mega Man 4, or maybe 5 or 6 stuff. I think 4 was out by the time this came out. Maybe 5, but I'm pretty sure 6 was not. But it would have been cool. There we go. Oh, I thought that was the end of the level, actually, right there. But I guess not. Oh, hey, these guys! Garbage Man, from that one level in Dr. Wily's castle in Mega Man 3. It's kind of cool to see these guys again. And, Yeah, let's go in here. Again, this is a hard knuckle wall, not a crash bomb wall. You can tell by the way they look. It's just a life, screw it. Speaking of which, what a... Yeah, I've got... That's useless. Right here, use magnet beam for a second, and get in line right here. That way when I fall, everything's okay. Not really necessary. Oh, I should have brought magnet missile. Oh, not really necessary, but it's nice to be safe, I guess. And I've been having a lot of kind of dumb deaths in this whole playthrough, so might as well be safe. Oh wow, hey, guess we got to drop down. I love little things that throw the usual, you know, the usual things out of whack. Like, you don't usually do this, and I think that's cool. Another thing that you usually don't see is Hyperstorm has 2 life bars, and that's just crazy. And it's cool because, I mean, like, you don't see bosses with more life than normal. And there are spikes in the walls, as you can see, so you gotta be really careful. He's not too difficult. I mean, Firestorm's doing really well. And he's got such a giant area to hit. I mean, it's pretty easy. So there we go, the first 3 guys down. And we're going to go on to Wily's Fortress. And that will be the last of it. We'll finally complete all of Mega Man The Wily Wars. Oh my god, after all this time, we're nearing the end. So save that. And I'll see you guys next time. I'm Fill in the Blanks. Let's take down Dr. Wily next time on Let's Play Mega Man The Wily Wars.